as we come on the air tonight, more women coming out to accuse Donald Trump of inappropriate behavior. The allegations range from barging into a dressing room with naked beauty pageant contestants to groping a stranger on a plane. Tonight, these women's stories and how the Trump campaign is responding in the latest installment of our series on the closing days of this wild election, Inside the Final 30. All right, here's the script for tonight's report. We have all these stories coming out now of Donald Trump being accused by young women of behaving inappropriately. So I'm heading down to our audio booth to record my voice for tonight's piece. One of the accounts coming out tonight is from Tasha Dixon.
He just came strolling right in. There was no second to put a robe on or any sort of clothing or anything. Some girls were topless, other girls were naked.
She was 18 years old at the time, and she describes how Donald Trump allegedly walked in on her backstage at the 2001 Miss USA pageant, which he owned at the time.
Our first introduction to him was when we were at the dress rehearsal and half naked changing into our bikinis.
Dixon, the now former Miss Arizona, says Trump seemed to take advantage of the contestants being in a compromised position.
To have the owner come waltzing in when we're naked or half naked in a very physically vulnerable position, and then to have the pressure of the people that work for him telling us to go fawn all over him, go walk up to him, talk to him, get his attention.
Ironically, the theme of the pageant that year, empowering women.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump owned the pageant for the reason to utilize his power to get, around beautiful women.
Dixon says she's speaking out now because of these recently unearthed comments from 2005. On the Howard Stern show, Trump admitted to pushing the boundaries of his power as the owner of the Miss USA beauty pageants.
I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant, and therefore I'm inspecting it. Is everyone okay? They're standing there with no... Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible-looking women. And so I sort of get away with things like that.
Hey man, it's Dan Harris. Longtime pageant coach Bill Alverson says if these allegations are true, this kind of behavior is not typical of beauty contests. So in your view, given your years of experience in this world, how would you characterize these reports about his behavior?
If these reports prove to be completely accurate, it's reprehensible to me. These girls change clothes, and what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of girls don't have any undergarments on whatsoever when they wear an evening gown. And then when you change into a swimsuit, if there's a swimsuit competition, and there are in his pageants, you have to completely remove all your clothing. There's no comprehensible reason why he should be in that room. It equates to me as a peeping Tom.
Tasha Dixon said when she had her encounter with Trump, she felt powerless to do anything about it.
Who do you complain to? He owns the pageant. So there's no one to complain to. Everyone there works for him.
But some contestants we spoke with say they had a very different experience with Donald Trump. We spoke via FaceTime tonight with the former Miss Kansas, Christy Knox Bowen. As you know, we're hearing at least one report about alleged inappropriate behavior by Mr. Trump at that pageant. Did you see anything along those lines?
No, absolutely not. The final night came to the dressing rooms or backstage even, I don't remember specifically, and just to wish us good luck. But nothing, out of the ordinary. It was very professional and nice. If something did take place, that the girls would have talked about it. We're still very much in contact with each other through social media, and nobody's ever said anything.
Tonight, Donald Trump's campaign responding to Miss Arizona's claims, saying these accusations have no merit and have already been disproven by many other individuals who were present. When you see questionable attacks like this magically put out there in the final month of a presidential campaign, you have to ask yourself what the political motivations really are and why the media is pushing it. But there is more tonight. Just hours ago, the New York Times posted this video online featuring Jessica Leeds, a former businesswoman. She says she sat next to a young Donald Trump on a flight into New York City in the early 1980s.
Somehow or another, the armrest in the seat disappeared, and it was a real shock when all of a sudden his hands were all over me. He started encroaching on my space. And I hesitate to use this expression, but I'm going to. And that is, he was like an octopus. It was like he had 6 arms. He was all over the place.
Leeds says she did not report Trump's alleged behavior to anyone.
During the late 60s, 70s, and into the 80s, culture had instilled in us that somehow it was our fault, the attention that we received from men, that we were responsible for their behavior. You didn't complain to the authorities, you didn't complain to your boss. If something happened to you, you just bucked up and you went on.
Leeds does tell the New York Times that she is a Clinton supporter, and the Trump campaign is out tonight with a statement saying this entire article is fiction, and for the New York Times to launch a completely false, coordinated character assassination against Mr. Trump on a topic like this is dangerous. And late tonight, sources tell ABC News Donald Trump's team is drafting a lawsuit against the New York Times for defamation.
Yes.
Whoa!
Yes, the Donald is good. Whoa. Oh, my man.
These new allegations against the Republican nominee come, of course, on the heels of that now infamous Access Hollywood video that surfaced last Friday.
I gotta use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her.
Trump has apologized several times and characterized his comments on the tape as locker room talk, denying in this past Sunday's debate that he's guilty of what he described in that video, which would amount to sexual assault.
Grab him by the I can do anything. I have tremendous respect for women.
Have you ever done those
women
things?
Have respect for me. And I will tell you, no, I have not.
While Donald Trump is fighting off these new allegations tonight, Hillary Clinton is out having tacos. Here she is in Las Vegas. Her campaign is clearly watching these new Trump stories very closely, and her spokeswoman put out this statement just hours ago. Quote, these reports suggest that he, Donald Trump, lied on the debate stage and that the disgusting behavior he bragged about in the tape is more than just words. Donald Trump is no longer in the beauty pageant business. Last year, after making those comments about Mexicans, pageant broadcasters NBC and Univision dropped Trump, which ultimately forced him to sell the franchise. But here's the thing, with thousands of beauty queens under Trump's domain over the years, and with 27 days left in this election, people in both campaigns have to be wondering tonight whether there are more shoes to drop. And a reminder, tonight you can watch the final presidential debate Wednesday, October 19th, 1 week from tonight, right here on ABC at 9 Eastern.